Hey guys, this is Bob Hickman. Well, Happy New Year to all of you. It is so good to be with you. Well, the letters have been coming in. A lot of you have been asking about our annual predictions, so here we are. Anyways, I've been looking into my crystal ball, and I tell you, I have seen a lot of interesting things this year, this upcoming year for 2014. So I thought I'd just kind of go down my list here. You know, starting, a lot of you have been asking about the economy. And, you know, fortunately, this last part of 2013, we have started to see some economic improvement. And fortunately, this will continue into 2014. Watch the first quarter. I do believe we're going to see stronger economic indicators of renewal. There'll be more jobs. And by the time we get to the beginning of the second quarter, I think we'll be having a real sense that things really are on the mend. Watch around the second quarter things to start to pick up in the housing market, and that looks like that trend will continue throughout the year. And I do believe that as we go through the year, as I said, more jobs, more stability, a lot more happiness overall. And I think America really is going to see a mend, as well as Europe. I think that as our economy grows, we'll see the kind of the effect throughout the world. We'll all start to have, fortunately, a more prosperous time. You know, I'd encourage all of you also to watch the metal market as well. I do think in silver we'll see a lot of growth this year. That's where I'm putting my money for the biggest amount of growth. Gold looks like it'll stay stable, and I feel like, you know, overall the metal markets are going to hold pretty stable. You know, in the area of stocks, I would encourage people to keep an eye on emerging technology stocks. I think 2014 is really a year where people are going to start to have more confidence and be able to put money into some of these emerging technologies. I'd keep an eye particularly in the area of medical devices. You know, one of the technical areas where I am seeing growth, since we're talking about this, you know, some of you said any breakthroughs in science and technology, and I do see particularly in the area of technology related to stroke victims this year. I do see some device being developed that will interact with the brain waves to allow stroke victims to have greater motor skills and communication. So if you want to look at stocks, emerging technology, particularly in the medical field, that's where I think we're going to see some real growth this year. You know, also in science and technology here, I do also pick up that we will also have a breakthrough in cancer research. And I do feel that, you know, in the area of science, I'd watch around June of this year, because it looks like as we go into the summer, there are going to be some announcements about another breakthrough in cancer. It's dealing with, I believe, the way that cancer cells multiply or divide, and it does look like there is somebody that is working on technology to control that. So we may see a major breakthrough, I feel, in cancer research as well. So strokes and cancer in science and technology, that's where I want to put the focus this upcoming year. You know, a lot of you have also said, Bob, what's going to happen? Any major calamities or catastrophes? Well, one of the areas that has me a little concerned is the West Coast. I do feel there is going to be an increase, particularly as we get into the fall in the Northwest, like up near Washington and Oregon. I'm concerned about flooding and storm activity. This area looks particularly vulnerable to me, and that's where I'm most concerned. Interestingly, I also do pick up a lot of seismic activity on the East Coast, particularly and strangely enough in the New England area. So, you know, the New England states, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, that area, I'm concerned that they may have a, what I want to call a strange seismic event. And I'd particularly watch around the fall for that, September, October time frame for that. It does look like there's something strange there. I do think most of the East Coast will be having more minor tremors throughout the year. I'm not predicting any major earthquake disasters, but I do feel like that the patterns on the East will be a little strange this year. So watch the West Coast, Northwest for flooding, East Coast for seismic activity. I feel the middle country, the farmland areas, I'm a little concerned about drought. And I keep seeing around September issues connected to drought. So, I don't know how you guys plant crops, but try to harvest as soon as you can, because once we go into the late summer, early fall, I'm getting a drought issue in the middle part of the United States. That has me a little bit concerned, you see. But overall, I think that the weather will be kind of following standard seasonal patterns for the most part, Now, also some other areas that you have been concerned about have been world events. And I have to tell you, I am closely watching Russia. I feel that by the summer, around June or July, there may be a major transition in power there. I feel like there may be kind of some sort of government shakeup, and we may see a lot of things change very rapidly. Interestingly, I want to keep an eye on China as well, because I do believe China will somehow be very concerned, or this may affect them. They may step in to kind of have a say in it. So there may be some upheaval. China may become involved, and I'd watch, as I said, around the early summer for that. Now, not to be all doom and gloom, but also a lot of you have been asking about celebrities. So we're going to talk about that. Now, one of my favorite celebrities is Lady Gaga. I love her. And last year she had some injuries. But I did predict for her a new album release, which did come to pass last year. And I see that her album sales continuing into 2014. I do see touring around her, and I think Lady Gaga is coming back in a major, major way this year. So my money's on her for Star of the Year. Also, Justin Bieber, I do see him continuing. I am a little concerned because as we get into around late summer, around August, I'm concerned about vocal injury for him. He may be overdoing it or strain his vocal cords. And Justin, if you see this, please be careful with your throat. Work with your doctor. But I want you to be careful because I feel there is some issue on vocal strain. I do see another album coming out this year for Justin Bieber as well. And it does look like it will continue along with the success of his other songs. Another star that I also have my eye on is Shirley MacLaine. I've been a fan of hers for years, but I am seeing her doing more specials. I get a stage show around her, and I feel like she may be entering into a venture to do some more public appearances, some stage shows, and I would encourage her to be open to that. Okay. Now, some of you guys have also been writing and saying, Bob, what about the royals? Well, I'm a royal watcher also, and I tell you, I want to keep an eye on Prince Charles this year. I keep feeling like he is being asked to step into a larger role in areas of the monarchy. I feel that Her Majesty the Queen, I don't see her stepping down from the throne, but I do see her kind of holding back. There may be an issue with exhaustion with her this year, and that's an area she needs to watch. I do see the little prince, Prince George, the son of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, growing, and I think he'll be quite the character in this upcoming year. A lot of photo ops there. But as far as the royal family, Prince Charles, I also see him doing a lot more environmental work. And I'm telling you, I think a lot more of the scientists of the world need to listen to him, because I do think he will be bringing forth issues and views that are going to be very vital in the coming years. I think he's a bit ahead of his time. But this year we'll see a real step up in Prince Charles in terms of his statements and his work with the environment. I think that's all for the good. 2014 is a year, as I said, of growth, of opportunity, and I think that we're all going to start to breathe a little easier this year. And I encourage all of you, go ahead, step out, make that effort to make some changes, because the energy really is present in 2014 for a lot of personal growth for individuals as well. It's interesting, I've been also looking at the astrological alignments, and this year really shows a lot of strong energy, particularly for people to do career changes and growth. So as the economy grows, people's personal energy also looks like it's growing in conjunction. So I do think it will be a much brighter year. So for those of you who have been worried about jobs, been worried about your own personal finance, listen, breathe easier. 2014 is a year of renewal and return to prosperity. Well, guys, thanks for being here at Spirit Channel. Listen, if you're new, we'd love you to be part of our channel. Hit that subscribe button, and we look forward to seeing you in 2014. God bless you all, and Happy New Year.